Hey everybody, Rob Lenfestey here. Welcome to Mandala Springs. This is Convergence Lifestyle, and today we're going to discuss strategies that you can practice on a daily basis that will help you to be more well prepared for emergencies and high stress situations when they arise. So, as I talked about in my last video, we've just had a pretty epic emergency level flood. Historic, the most water we've actually ever seen here in history, and it cut off our roads, it cut off access, and created a pretty incredible amount of damage. There are people that are still missing. There are some people who died. It's a bona fide emergency situation, and in the last video I went through some of the strategies that can help you to manage those situations in the best way you can from your own personal perspective. Today, what I want to talk about are some of the strategies that we can implement on a daily basis that will help us be ready to go when those situations arise. So the first one is obviously going to be breath work. Doing very conscious breath work on a daily basis, connecting to the breath, and specifically doing some of the long holds like we do with the Wim Hof method, because those holds introduce a prescribed stress response into the body and give you the opportunity to train your body to respond with relaxation, with a calm mind, and control. And that skill set will go miles when it comes to an actual emergency, when clear and decisive action is needed. That breath work will help. Simultaneously, the cold training, like we do with the Wim Hof method, that cold training is another way of prescribed stress response that basically when you get into the cold, you train your body to stay relaxed, to greet that little micro emergency that your body may be perceiving from a place of equanimity and ability to really relax into it and to work with it. And that will likewise go a long ways into helping you in any sort of actual stressful emergency situation. Beyond breath and cold, really subjecting oneself to any sort of prescribed incremental stress situation, placing your body in what it would consider to be an emergency situation, and practicing skill sets that help you to mind over matter, be able to stay calm, collected, and in control. Things like adventure racing, which is great because it's a team sport where you have to work with a team in a very intense and high demand situation. Rock climbing is another really good example. There are a lot of examples out there of being able to place yourself in these training protocols that help mitigate your stress response and help to hone you as the most naturally responsive, stress managing emergency responder that you can possibly be in a given situation. Next is to get basic first aid, or ideally even like a wilderness first aid or wilderness first responder training. Basic first aid courses are offered at lots of community colleges and universities, and there's different programs that offer them. Highly recommend having basic first aid training just in life in general, because this will go a long ways in helping you to have the tools to manage a wide range of different emergency situations that may show up where people's lives are at risk, where there's significant injury, or a need to get someone to safety from dynamic environments. So really crucial skill set, highly recommended for everyone. And once again, that training will just augment your ability to remain calm and to move forward with informed, intelligent action when that is what is necessary. Next, this is really important, and I don't think a lot of people would realize this, but practicing connecting to your peripheral vision. So I'm going to make another video specifically on how to actively practice connecting with your peripheral vision. But real quick, if you take your fingers in front of you and you move them all the way to the edges of your vision and you keep your focus evenly on both, you start to actually access with your vision your peripheral mind. And even though this is a visual physical exercise, it awakens your ability to see a situation from a more holistic perspective, where you're able to track many different variables that are happening simultaneously, and will give you then considerable leverage in being able to manage a situation more effectively. So if there's people panicking or withdrawing, there's different physical aspects of the situation that are degrading, you'll be able to track these things and make choices and decisions that will maximize your ability to respond and to get to a place of effective solutionary action with more efficiency. And other skills that can help in these kinds of situations that you might not even think of are things like fasting. Regularly fasting and putting your body in that situation where it feels like it needs more and it's getting less. It's this prescribed stress response that can also help augment and create tools that allow you to respond to an emergency state more effectively. So I would love to hear some of your ideas of some of the things that you think are really helpful in terms of training yourself to be more prepared for what life brings and for the various emergencies that we aren't ready for, that tend to find us in a day-to-day basis, especially in the current world that we live in right now. Having this kind of a skill set is more important than ever before. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.